So if you're having a Hitachi L6210 intelligent pump for chromatography technique, and you're experiencing some problems either with the pressure inconsistent, or that there's a problem with the flow, or a strange sound, then the thing you should look for is the discharge and the inlet valves, these units. You might need to clean them. That might solve the problem. So
so it's this. So it's either the inlet or the outlet valve. When this happens, you have to do the
cleaning
with the sulfuric acid and nitric acid mixture.
Okay.
This one. But in here you've got two sets of check valves.
Yeah.
So you've got a little chamber with a hole in the middle and a ball that sits in there and a cover. And as the liquid comes through, the ball comes away from the hole, liquid fills the chamber.
Causing disturbance pressure.
Well, it just gathers the liquid and then gets sucked into the top chamber and then gets pumped out around the system.
Okay.
And what happens is that ball gets trapped in the little hole at the bottom because it gets dirty. So it doesn't move. And this is what's happening here. These have become less efficient.
To disassemble this unit, this is the outlet valve. We gently unscrew the plastic part, because the teething is from a plastic part to a metal part, so we have to be really gentle. We try to unscrew this part by hand. If it was so tight, then we can use a tool. Technique. This is the discharge valve, and we'll do the same with the inlet, the suction valve. Right, so we are cleaning these valves holders with the help of the manual. We're following this procedure. This is a discharge valve and a suction valve. So when I'm disassembling the discharge valve, I will place the parts on this tissue, and I will also place the parts of the suction valve on this tissue, and then we will take each of these internal parts into these separate tubes in this order. So I'll start with the discharge valve. Which is a rubber. The whole unit just came out. This whole unit came out. I'll just place them in order. That was the order for them. I'll place it like this. I'll first start with the discharge valve. Fell like this. I'll write down what I have just disassembled. So I have written down those compartments. I won't do that again. Push it. That's the rubber. For this part here, we do the same. This is a rubber. So rubbers are out of the cleaning process with acid, the rest goes in the acid. So this is again the matte surface is on the outside, and okay, I got this bits. That's the ruby part. So now the discharge valve is fully disassembled, we'll just place it in here. We'll number each part. So this is 1771. Very carefully placing the ruby inside. So this is the first ruby. Then and the other will just go for sonication without acid. That's the discharge valve. I'll do the same. I'll do the same for the suction valve. That was like this. So it's kind of reverse with the suction valve. Matte is in the outside and the gloss is towards the ruby. We take the ruby out. There we go. So for the suction valve, we have the rubber and the joint, and then the ruby, and then the packing. And this is the first pack. This is A. And now we will have B. So we expect the rubber to be coming out first. And that's the rubber coming. The O-ring in this side here fits. It will be towards the matte joint. Okay. And this was like this. Right. We got the suction valve, the valve seat filter, the ball, the valve chest, the rubber washer, and again the valve seat and a ball, ruby ball, and a valve chest and the big washer. Then we will mark the side with discharge D and the suction with S. And we'll add the acid. And we are carefully adding the nitric acid, 50% sulfuric acid, 50% mixture. Okay, so they are all in the same order into the sonicator. After sonication, we take the clean tool from the acid and we add it to the water. Remember, never add water to acid, but acid to water. And the same goes with the tube. We take the acid out of the tube and now it's ready for the next step, which is drying and assembly. So this is now just filled with water. After drying this, so I just, after cleaning or re-rinsing with water, I'll just take the water away. Now we have the same order. These are the discharge valve units, which is the taller one or the bigger one, and these here are the suction valve, which is on my right hand side. I will take it in order, which first has the valve chest, okay, that's the ruby. I'm also double checking with the manual. We can the orientation, the order, and I will be orientation when I'm assembling them. I'll do this exactly the same thing for the suction valve. So for the suction valve, it's kind of in reverse. So let's start after the suction valve. We start first with the valve seat, and then the ruby, and then the valve chest. So it is coming in the reverse order. So after drying them, we place them in order and This is for the discharge valve, the big one, or the taller one. We have a discharge valve, the valve chest, and then we place the ruby and this part inside. Now I'll try to do it with one hand.
Like in here, and for some sent me these, which is this one. And I asked for. You've literally sent me because she said the prices were weird, and you could buy them individually. Just tell me if I do a pack of 10. I deleted it because I don't want it. No, I haven't got PDS. Like, it's on the bottom. I went, yeah, no, I've ordered 2 different tests. There's a 10 times. But yeah, they're down the side. And then I was like, absolutely not what I wanted.
You will add the valve where the circle in the middle should be facing toward it, like this. Yep. The whole set. Then we'll assemble this and place it above it.
Oh, he's correct. That's what he wanted.
Okay. Then this is the last bit here. You can see also it has an internal circle which will be facing this at the end.
We need to take this to the hood, don't we? To run it in the hood. If we run it on the bench, we just made it in the hood.
Run it on the bench, yeah. So.
Okay. Okay.
No, I think it's just, yeah, it's that little bottom shape, isn't it?
Yep. And then
Where put all this stuff now?
this goes at the top here, like this. So this is the internal circle. Goes the internal circle goes facing the valve chest assembly, like this. We've got here the whole assembly now, units being perfectly assembled. And then we'll do the same with the suction valve.
0.6 grams.
Are these your 10 centimetre dishes? Because that what's in this box?
Is that right actually, sweet?
So the inner circle is to the outside, because it will be facing the other valve chest assembly. Okay. Check that the ruby is in the center. Yeah. And then this should face downward like this. And as you can see, the valve, the big valve that's closing, doesn't have an inner circle. The closing valve for the suction valve doesn't have an inner circle, because this one doesn't have the opening of the valve chest. And by this we have both the unit cleaned and assembled.
Maybe a bit more. Yeah. We all need to be fully involved. Yeah. Like, yeah, a little bit more.
In here we have two valves. One of them is clean and the other is not. We can here see that the ruby is kind of pinkish or reddish. This can be seen if you place it through a light. This is a clean valve and this is not a clean valve. You can see it's more, I don't know if this is showing in the camera. Clean valves shows actually the glaze of the ruby inside, where it's not showing in the unclean valve. So the smaller one goes in here. Then assemble the upper one here.